Well, howdy, 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 nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to a brand new day. My housemates are getting up, and so you'll likely hear coughing, hacking, clearing of throats, doors opening, such like that in the background. Such is life, is it not? In my lap, or on my lap, I have a rodent. Well, where did this rodent come from? Well, actually, this rodent came from her cage. It's just little Gojira. She's usually the only one that's awake when I start to record. And so I don't have anybody else I can grab, but she was in her cage looking up at me. And so I reached in and picked her up. She is just a sweetie, and I love pulling on her tail. Well, not pulling, just tugging, just holding. I don't want to pull on her tail and hurt her. I'm going to put her back so that she can just do what she's going to do. She's a sweetheart, as stated. She was looking up at me, and that's very cool. I mean, she can't see me. Hamsters are essentially blind. Remember, they don't have the color. There's rods and cones in your eyes. One sees color, one sees shadow, light and dark. They don't have the color ones. They have night vision, which is, I can't remember which one it is, but they can only see shadow, light and dark. So they can't really see. They use their noses and their tongues to see the world. They do have vision, of course, little Figmo down there. I mean, he still sees light, shadow, movement. So that's what they twig on, and he sees movement, he freaks out. But she sees movement, and she goes, oh! And, she can smell me. My smell permeates the air. And so she knows I'm out here, and there's times that she's just really wanting to see what's going on. And that's really cool. I'm glad that she is a very curious little critter. I hope Thigmo's going to not die early, but, he's nervous. That's why I don't touch him so much, though. I mean, yes, last night I picked up every single one of my hamsters again. When I was feeding them, I started with little Saber, put down food, and then I picked her up, and she just sat in my hand and looked around, and then I put her back down, and she went back to eating. And then little Dr. Snurf, I reached in and I picked him up, and that was okay. And then actually picked up Thigmo. I came down slowly, and I was able to do a scoop and then pick up and hold him, and he was okay. And then, of course, Gojira. I mean, I pick her up all the time, because if I don't, she'd be mad. Come on, shirt hangs symmetrically. I like symmetry. So, my hamsters they're doing good. I mean, pretty soon I'm going to be moving Saber over there back where Dr. Snurf is, on top of Thigmo's cage, or else I'll move Thigmo against the wall and then have both Dr. Snurf and little Saber down there, and that'll be good. I mean, both of them like being picked up so much more than Thigmo, so. But then I don't want him to just be ignored either, because that would suck. That would be bad. He's a good little guy. He deserves attention, and he deserves not attention, so that he doesn't freak out and explode. Or have his immune system bottom out, get wet tail, and then perish that way. Because it's not likely that there would be a wet spatch and then, hamster innards all over the inside of the cage. That's likely not to happen. Good thing. Unless, of course, they were dead, and, it was hot, so that the gases inside, as they decomposed, and then they rupture. Which, if you go out walking and you're like, any place where things die, like where horses or cows or deer, or if you're on the water and something rolls up out of the water, yeah, you want to, it's fun to poke dead things with a stick, but when they're all swollen, stay back, because they will burst, and that's not pleasant. Speaking of not pleasant, I was reading, and this was actually a reading thing, about people who take care of dead animals by the side of the road, because you can't just let them stay there. And one of the things they do is actually by the sides of roads. They're just bone pits because they out, it's not in city streets or anything like that. It's places where animals get hit that largely they just bury them by the side of the road, get them out of the way. It's not going to hurt anything. Things die, so they just largely bury them. But when they've got like dead deer and all that, they got to get out there and move them. And this one guy was talking about how there was this long dead thing that he'd had to move, and he was trying to move it, but the outside of it had hardened and the inside of it had liquefied, so it cracked in half, and the semi-liquid insides of this long dead thing just went sploosh and ran all down him. So that was the stench he had to deal with for a whole day before he could get washed off. Yuck. A job I'm glad I don't have. Just because I'm fastidious. I mean, I don't even like to get anything at all on my hands or on my face or anything like that. So, yeah, I mean, I go through periods where I can even wash my hands in alcohol. And alcohol clears off your hands. I mean, when it soaks in and mixes in with substance on your hands and then evaporates, it tends to take that stuff with it. If you've got a mild oil on your fingers, and you wash with alcohol, when it evaporates, the oil is mostly gone too. Now, where was I going with that? I can't remember. Oh, yes. There are times that I'll get to feeling, and this is why it's not really a good and normal thing. I'll even wash my hands with alcohol so they are bone dry, and I still feel like if I touch my hands to my face, I'm going to be leaving like a huge smudge of like motor oil as skin oils from my fingers, but I can't because they're bone dry because of the alcohol. But still, that's the way it feels. Not a good thing. Which also ties into, I've mentioned this before a couple of years back, there is a mental affliction, I can't remember what it's called, but it's where you pull on hairs, you pull your hairs out. And when you've got it really, really bad, I've seen pictures of some people that just have, grand total, if you put all the hairs left on their head, it'd be about a patch about this big, but it's scattered over their entire scalp, because they've plucked and pulled all those hairs out. I can't remember what it's called, but all my life I've had to deal with a mild version of that. When I was in elementary school, I remember this one. I plucked a growing bald spot right here, and I asked my teachers to help me. I said, if you see me doing this, please make me stop. Because I was worried. And so I moved on, and I started pulling out my eyelashes, and then I've been fighting it my whole life as I got older. One of the reasons that I personally liked having my beard shorter, even though my wife liked having my beard much longer, was that I tend to find longer whiskers and hairs and just pull them out. And I will pull out whiskers all day just without thinking about it. So I keep it short so I don't do that. Even when my hair was getting thinner, when it was longer, I always had to fight to keep from going, ooh, that's doink. So, happy days. Thank goodness it's when my hair is this length, I don't really have to worry about it, and I don't worry about this at all. And again, I've always used, well, not always, largely used the what's annoying me today thing when I started learning how to cut my own hair, which I did out of necessity because we didn't have money to have my hair get cut. My wife was too sick to be able to cut my hair. That left me, and I didn't know how to do it, so I just slowly learned home cutting my hair stuff until she was gone. And then I just started taking over entirely and then got real good at keeping my hair short. And now, of course, it's really short. But every single time I go down to shower, first thing I do is keep my beard trimmed down, and then I pop on the various length things and keep my hair short. Keep it constantly maintained. So thumbs up for that. Now yesterday I did not go full walkies. I went partial walkies. I walked to the post office and out past the Safeway, I think. I can't really remember. And then back. I forget so much. I'm amazed that I can remember what I do. I mean, my memory's getting better all the time. Thank goodness for that. But it's not good. But went out walkies, but then didn't go walkies again later that night. It's just been too warm. I talked with my therapist about that yesterday, where I said I hope it's just the heat, because I don't do well in heat. I tend to just melt, fall asleep, and don't get anything done when it gets warm. And when it's warm enough, I just plain fall asleep. Now when it's cold, even though if it gets too cold, I'm going to react very adversely. When it's colder, I am active and ready to do stuff, and just I'm active, energized. So I'm hoping it's just the heat. Here's hoping. Definitely. Oh, excuse me. Last night my housemates grilled very, very late. It was about 10:30 at night. They actually grilled me up 2 hot dogs. And they also baked some tater tots, and they said, hey, we made some for you. So I had 2 hot dogs and tater tots yesterday at the end of the day. It was good. It's difficult to eat bread stuff with these, because I really don't have that much of a chewing thing. And as much as these look like they're, hey, you got teeth to chew with, it's only about on the backside here. They only are about this tall. And then there's the roof, the plastic roof. So I don't really have a biting surface. It only has that far before bonk. So, oh, my voice and my throat, I'm so sorry. Well, I really can't think of a whole lot else to go on about. I mean, I've talked about everything that's happened. Well, largely. I mean, there's always things happening, but not very interesting. So what I'm going to do then is call this one a little short. So I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. Now, I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm going to read them later. Thumbs up each one I do. Answer as many as I can. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker. And it is a range of 20 to 25, because even though I can't American Sign Language with my fibro and depression and more, I'm lucky I can remember my name is not Reginald P. Farquhar. Usually I remember that. We have Ice Damon, greatly appreciated, and Panda Stuff, thumbs up and thank you. Ryan Davies, thank you so very much, and Dirty Danimals, ooh, I like the name. Marilee Kashiro, greatly appreciated, and Cthulhu Watu, I like the name. Hi Mista, thank you very, very much, and JSN, thumbs up. Young DXMON, I'm not quite sure how you would pronounce that, but thumbs up and thank you. Phil B, greatly appreciated, and Austin, thumbs up. Hopefully I'm going to be getting my radio thing done soon. It's just taking a lot longer to get done than I thought it would. My apologies. Frank ASMR, greatly appreciated, and Pandora NYC1, thumbs up and thank you. McKinney Campbell, greatly appreciated. Martin Fuentes, greatly appreciated. Okay. Thumbs up. And Jeff S, greatly appreciated. Rod Rothelli, I sure hope I'm close, thank you. X Nichols, X, thumbs up and thank you. Confused Owl 29, greatly appreciated. Rival, thumbs up and thank you. And then Paladin Volume, greatly appreciated. Dabbage Cabbage, thumbs up and thank you. Real XIVII, which I guess is like Roman numerals, so I don't know what that would be. But anyway, thank you very, very much. And last but not least, Darian Hale, greatly appreciated. Each and every one of you. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. Thank you so very much. It's been over a half hour by now since I took any sort of cannabis product, and of course my voice is still getting all coated. My voice box is getting all coated, so I have to keep clearing my throat. Very annoying. My sincere apologies. If you could check out my various links, I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, NearlySeniorCitizen.com. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron, like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. But if you cannot donate, or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and deposit them in the bank of my heart, where I draw interest. So thank you very much. And of course, if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be very cool, greatly appreciated. I would understand if you did not wish to, but if you are down with it, I will do my very best to keep you entertained from now to the literal end of time. Good Lord. So annoying, especially since I can cough and cough and cough, and I feel like most of it's come up, but there's still that little annoying niggle that says you are going to be coughing again in just a few moments. Yay. What a fun word, niggle. Huh. It strikes me that there's a couple words that are dangerous, that don't mean what they sound like. Especially there's this one fellow that used a word that I'm not actually going to reuse because it sounds bad, but all it means in English is just frugal. But it sounds terribly because it's got the root of a very, very bad word inside of just this word that means nothing. And so you use this word, you end up, oh, there was a guy in government used it a bit ago, and I don't think his career survived. And he didn't say anything bad. He just used a word that unfortunately has the basis in there. So that's why I'm going to really, my subconscious and my mind and my brain just chose that word, but now I'm not sure that that's a really safe word to use, even though it means nothing bad. So, just to be on the safe side. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, hey, we don't use specific words in specific situations all the time. This is just another one. Thumbs up for that. So anyway, I've got this video that you've been watching, hopefully at least anyway. Definitely a thumbs up if you have, and if you haven't, you wouldn't even know it. But I've got another one coming up and another one after that. I need to slow down on my weird videos with the talking stuff. If I do too many of them too fast, I'm going to be fine, but then everyone's just going to be bored with them. So I need to slow them down, make them more rare, make them more, hey, this is a treat when it shows up, instead of, oh, another one. So hopefully I can get that done. Anyway, though, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend, and that is a very good thing. And even though it's at 18 minutes and about 10 seconds on my clock recording, you have a great day, and I will see you on the flip side, my friend.